I want to welcome you to the screencast of StartupRaw.com. We're going to be looking at how to set up articles today. How do you use WordPress? Well, this is what you're going to do, okay? You're going to want to go to set up an article. You go here and hit Add New. And then what you would do is you would just get your title here. You would want to have a category for this that you click. Already set up under categories here on the left. And then you would want to put your actual information in here. There are two sides to this. There's a visual side and then there's an HTML side. Now the HTML side is the coding on the back end that causes this to show visually like a Microsoft Word document on the front end. So whenever you add a link, like let's say you want to add a link to a website, okay? Then what you would want to do is you want to highlight that, click that link, and then let's say you wanted it just to be Startup Raw, okay? You just hit add link, and then voila, you would have your link. Now here's what it would show up like on the back end. This is the HTML, okay? So this is what's called an anchor text, okay? An anchor text is when you take the actual link, which is the ahref, okay, and then it's referencing this page, and then this right here would be right after that, and then you would close off with the A. Closing it off, you're always going to have this little icon right here in front of it to where it's going to close off this A where it starts, so that you're telling the coding's telling the front end that, hey, this link text or anchor text stops right here with this, and then you just start your actual text and go from there. So this is how you anchor text a word. Now if you were just going to do an actual link, you would just write in an actual link, you know, like startupraw.com, and then, you know, sometimes they highlight, sometimes they don't. If they don't, well, then you would just do that and highlight it. So that's how you would do an actual link in WordPress. Now if you have some audio or some images you want to upload, you would just simply go here, go to your actual audio and media, and actually hit upload, and then select your file from your desktop, and then grab the file, and then you would insert it, and it would show up in the page. Now it's going to show up at the top automatically. Now let's say you had some text here, but you want an image in the middle of the text. You want to get that little cursor right in the front of the image of the text where you want that image to go, instead of it showing up right at the top. So you just click that right there where you would want it if the text was there and you want an image there, and then you would just add the media and then insert it, and the image should show up right where that cursor is. So that's how you get images in different areas. Now if you want to go to the middle or center or to the right side, this is how you're going to do that. This right here will actually block quote something to where it puts an actual box around it, so to speak, and then it's going to look more like a quote. And then this is how you bold something, this is how you give something bullets, this is how you're going to number something. If you want to do a header, you're going to do your headers here, or just have regular paragraph. This is something that I have uploaded. I use it. It's called any font. There's something called Google Fonts as well, which will allow you to use different kinds of fonts and sizes. So just a little extra something to give you some customization These are going to be your actual colors that you would want to use. So this is how you're going to use all this. If you wanted to put a spacer in, you would just click that, and you see how I put that little spacer there. If you want to space something off to start like some new type of information or something like that. So this right here only shows halfway because I'm going to have my widgets on the right hand side on this page. Now if I wanted to change that, then what I'd have to do, and that's going to be underneath post. Underneath post, you would just come to changing your actual default settings for your page view. Do you want it to be a right side widget, a left side widget, or do you want it to be across the whole screen? That's under your actual articles for post, which we're under, but it's actually pages it's under. So you would do that, and that's how you would get your actual pages to show up. The posts by default have the widgets, so I was getting the pages and the posts mixed up there. So that's how you would do that. And trying to think of some other things that I could tell you. Now, if you looked at how to set up my Yoast SEO plugin that I use, then this is how you're going to do your SEO. Your SEO is going to be underneath the actual article settings, to where you're going to have readability, and if this isn't all green, it'll tell you why it's not green. So you want to try and get all that green and do what this is guiding you to do. And then for the actual SEO itself, by default it puts the title of the page and the site name in there. Now if you wanted to just go ahead and add what your title name is, then you will put your title name in there, because that's going to be your actual keyword, and your keyword is going to automatically show up right here once you type it in there. Okay, so this is how you know that you're showing up good with your SEO. This will all be green for great, or like bright yellow for good, and then it'll just be different colors if it's not good. So what you want to do is go under your snippet here, put your actual meta description, because this tells Google what your site is about. In your meta description, you're basically going to have your keyword title here, and then you're going to say what the actual article is about until this little line underneath here turns green. Okay, you want to try and use at least 2 or 3 other variations of keywords that go with your keyword to kind of niche it out, so that if somebody does extra searching, that it'll show up with those extra little niched out searches too for that keyword. Then you put your title here, which would be your focus keyword, and then once you do all that, you're going to want to make sure your title is with a header 1 here, and then you're going to want to make sure that you have your keyword at least mentioned once or twice in your actual article. And then from there, you just add some tags that you can niche down that keyword with that will show up. Add a couple tags here, and then after that, make sure you have your category checked off, and then you're just gonna set it out and let it go. Now if you wanted to schedule things to go out on different days, like what I do is I usually schedule things out for a week in advance. So you would just come here, and today's the 7th, so you would just put the 8th. You would put the time you want to go out. If it's 9:30, you just put 9:30, and then you would just click OK, and then it would say schedule. And then whenever you're ready to schedule, whenever you finish with everything you're doing, you just click this, and it will automatically have it all set to schedule it out. So that's how you would do this, and actually doing SEO for your article or for your home or about, if you're doing it on a regular page. And that's how you're going to schedule your articles out and different things like that. Now if you wanted your articles to show up, because they're not going to show up automatically unless you make it your not your home page for your static, but your actual articles for your static on your home page. They're not going to show up. So what you want to do is you would want to head over to menu. Okay, after you have all your articles out underneath this little category here, you'll want to go over to your menu, which is under appearances. Okay, and then you click menu. And underneath that menu, you would just go to your categories and then select that one and then just add it to the menu and then save it. And it will show up, in every article you have would show up on your menu for people under your category. So that's an easy way to get all your articles to show. And it's by doing it under a category if you're not going to do it as your static on your home. So that's just something I wanted to show you. Okay, it's just a little extra tip for you. Now, one more thing I want to show you, and I'm going to conclude with this, is that whenever you're actually doing articles, you want to make sure that this is green. Both of these are green, or at least bright orange for good. And if you want, you can also add in your video your coding for Aweber. But if you're gonna do something for Aweber or for your mail list or for a form, you're gonna want to be under the text, and you're gonna want to insert that code or that short code or whatever it is you're using in this text area, not under the visual. Okay. Very important. I wanted to at least mention that because you should have some area to sign up on as many of your articles as you can get it on. And also, one more quick tip. At the bottom of all of your articles, always have some links to some other articles that are related to this article that when they get finished reading, they could actually click on to stay on your website, because you want to keep people on, because the algorithms look at the bounce rate. So you want to make sure they're staying on your actual website. The longer they stay on, it tells the algorithm that you have interesting content and that they need to make sure that you're getting indexed. So that's just an important thing I wanted to mention to you. It's just something that you need to keep in mind. And those are the main things that you need to do for your actual website and how to use WordPress. Now, if you don't want to go under categories and you want to add a new category because you're doing something new, you can just add it right here. Just click this and it will add it. You just put it in, and if you want it to be underneath the other categories, a subcategory, you would just select that one as the one that it's going to be under. And then that's it. Okay? So that's how you schedule out. That's how you use WordPress. And I'm just going to go into this real quick just to show you that it's a similar layout. So all you do is just follow the whole thing over with the similar layout. Now I'm going here because I wanted to show you that by going to your template on your actual pages, you can change it from default to front or full width or left sidebar. Default on this one is the right sidebar. So I just wanted to show you that since I mentioned it to you in the when we were talking about the articles. So this concludes my tutorial on how to use WordPress and how to set up an